4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello. I am and welcome to Jedi Lunch Break Live, where we discuss justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies in 15 minutes or less. I am probably going to be on here today by myself because I am a little bit late. I was traveling this morning from Washington, D.C., and as you can see, I'm in my home office in Kansas, or not my home office, but in my business office in Kansas City, Missouri, which is quite fitting. If you joined us last week, then you got a chance to hear about the disparity between how the federal government thinks about justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and some of the things that are happening at the state level in the anti DEI movement. But today we're going back to our traditional topic, and really going back to questions that we received from folks who have been watching our Jedi Lunch Break Live and people who I meet along the way. So, today's question: in the last few years, we've done a good job of recruiting and hiring more diverse staff, but we have a hard time retaining them. How can we improve retention? And a secondary question is, how can we improve recruiting? So I'm going to start with the recruitment part first. And I would say, first, when you think about recruitment, let's start with, I'm going to give you three core tips here. Tip number one: leverage your existing staff and their networks. What does that mean? Well, basically, what that means is that you have staff that already work for you. And we do not live in a bubble by ourselves. So it is very likely that they have networks, and know people that by yourself as an HR department or as a staff acquisition team, you may not be able to tap. So start by figuring out a concrete program that leverages your staff that you already have. Whether it is utilizing their alumni networks from schools, whether it's utilizing their association networks or maybe even their community or social activities. Heck, let's be honest, even their faith activities. There is no wrong place to offer someone a job, and so really you can go and be anywhere, and you really should think quite broadly and quite expansively about where you recruit. At the same time, one of the reasons I love the leveraging your existing staff is because it also gives you a chance to engage your staff in building the workforce with you. It creates an opportunity that they're not just their day to day, whether it's a 9 to 5 or other business hours, but that their opinion is valued in how you're building your organization, business, or institution, that they are a valued employee and you want to get more people who represent the kinds of spaces and places that they represent. And so it's an excellent opportunity to also create a sense of belonging, to challenge people creatively, and basically just build relationships overall. The second tip on the recruiting side is build relationship with association. Every single industry has minority associations, has affinity associations of all ilks, and even within the larger associations, have groups and clusters of folks who have specific identities. What kind of relationship are you building with them? Are you investing in their activities? Are you working with them and showing up to their events? Are you networking with them, and being a part of their communications channels? Do you follow them on Twitter? These are some really simple things you can do. And when all of that fails, the minimum you can do is at least have a list of who these organizations are, a good email address for them, and at least you can forward them your job description. And this has two impacts. One, it allows them to share that with their networks, but two, it allows them to leverage your job qualifications to ensure that they are preparing their members for the kinds of jobs that you might have available. And so maybe they are an association and they may provide additional training that will help gear people towards the very position that you're offering. And then final, third, on the recruitment side of this question, invest in diverse people early. And when I say early, I'm saying while they're still in school, while they're still learning, while they're still figuring stuff out. This can include things like, sure, we know about internships and fellowships, but consider also things like special projects. Maybe you're working on something very specific, and wouldn't it be great to bring in a young person or a person who's looking to switch careers as a thought partner, an assistant, or some other added value to be a part of just that small project. Here's another idea. It doesn't just have to be related to your job. You can also be more vigilant in speaking at career fairs, showing up in schools, especially high schools, working with career departments in both high school colleges, and a lot of people miss this, but community colleges and junior colleges as well. And don't forget our industry education spots. So this is your technology schools, it could be your trade schools. All of these can create opportunities for you to improve and increase the diversity numbers for your team. Okay, so that's how you get them in. Now your question, I already know, is how do you freaking keep them? Well, this is really exploring this idea of inclusion, but inclusion at the intersection of belonging. You're more likely to keep people when they feel valuable, when they feel heard, where they feel productive and cared for. Now, part of this can start with some basic systems things, ensuring that you have quality benefits, ensuring that you're communicating that. Also, thinking about quality of life kinds of things. Where are there opportunities for you to be flexible? You know, one of the hottest trends right now is the idea of being able to work from home or to be hybrid. Do you really need people in the office? Is there a real business justification for that? Or is there not? And even though people are out of the office, what kinds of things are you doing to help people build and foster relationships? I think some of the best things can be even something simple like learning opportunities. People who learn together grow together, and not just in a sort of sit in a class kind of way, but think about doing things like brown bag lunches or inviting them to host a speaker series where either they or a colleague talk about something innovative in the organization or company. Think about how you are engaging them. The second thing is think about how you are clear about managing about your expectations, what you expect from them, and what they can expect from you. People who have a sense of understanding and connected to what their expectations are and are dialed in, they feel more productive. They feel more like they have a sense of what's in their span of control, and they work diligently to meet those expectations when they are set. And then the other thing is consider affinity groups or ERG, sometimes called employee resource groups. We're going to do a future live that just kind of breaks down what are affinity groups, what are ERGs, and how they can be used to your best advantage. But the shortcut version of that is these are opportunities for folks to kind of gather, learn, and grow. And then finally, on the retention side, never miss an opportunity to smile. So, whether that is greeting people when they come in the office, taking a minute to say hello and brighten their day when you're in the elevator, passing people by the proverbial water cooler and inquiring about how their day is going, and of course, thinking about how you can have periodic social occasions that help to build those relationships. No one is mad at a joy moment, and particularly a joy moment that is intentional about how we manifest inclusion in our workplace. Well, it's been almost 15 minutes, not quite, but I want to let you know our next topic, because this is another one that I get asked all the time, is when do you know you need to hire a DEI consultant? And what kinds of things are good for DEI consultants to do versus when you might need to have in-house talent, or perhaps you need both, and frequently that is the case. And so we'll dig deep into that topic. But for now, this has been Holly Holiday, your Jedi Master, with your Jedi Lunch Break Live. This is justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, strategies in 15 minutes or next. See you next Thursday. Did you enjoy this segment of Jedi Lunch Break Live? I'll be back next Thursday. Come on back and bring a friend.